Let's look at how to solve linear equations. So the first question is, what is a linear equation? A linear equation is anything that can be written in the form ax equal to b, where a and b are real numbers and x is our variable. It doesn't mean they'll always look exactly like this, but we can rewrite them in this form. Some examples, we could have something like 7x minus 5 equal to 2, or something more complicated like 3 times 2x minus 9 plus 12 is equal to 7 times x plus 2. We want to look at finding solutions to these linear equations. So first, what is a solution? Let's consider the linear equation 3x minus 5 is equal to 1. If we were to plug in a number like 1 for x, that would be 3 times 1 minus 5 is equal to 1. 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 minus 5 is negative 2, and so we can see this is a false statement. So this is not a solution. In order to be a solution, we need to get a true statement. If we were to change the x to a 2, that would be 3 times 2 minus 5 is equal to 1. Or 6 minus 5 is equal to 1, which tells me 1 is equal to 1. So this is a solution. In order to find the solution of a linear equation, there are some steps that we can go through. The first step is to simplify if possible. Get rid of parentheses or add like terms that are on the same side of the equation. Try to make it as simple as possible. We then want to get all of the variables on one side of the equation. We want to get all of our constants on the other side of the equation. We then divide by the coefficient of the variable. This is the number out in front of the variable. And finally, it's important to check your solution. So let's look at some examples. Let's look at the equation 3x minus 5 is equal to 7. I don't have any simplifying to do in this equation, and all of my variables are already together. So let's move to our third step, which says we want to get the constants on the other side. So I want to move this negative 5 to the other side of the equation. In order to do that, I'm going to add 5 since negative 5 plus 5 is 0. The left-hand side is 3x and the right-hand side is 12. We then divide both sides by the coefficient, which is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. And we can plug this back in. 3 times 4 is 12, minus 5 is 7. A slightly more complicated one. In this case, I still cannot simplify, but I'm going to start by getting all my variables together. And I'm going to do this by adding x. 2x plus x is 3x plus 3. These x's cancel and the right-hand side is just a 4. I then want to move the constants to the other side, so I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, so that now I have 3x is equal to 1. And finally, dividing by the coefficient gives me that x is equal to 1/3. Now let's look at an equation that will require some simplification. On the left-hand side, we have a parentheses, so we have a 3 times x, and then 3 times negative 2, which is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1, so the left-hand side becomes 3x minus 1. We then want to get our variables together, so I'll subtract 2x from both sides. 3x minus 2x is 1x. Minus 1 is equal to negative 6. I then get my constants together by adding 1 to both sides. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. So my solution, x is equal to negative 5.